Hi y'all, this is Tara Polmeyer. I'm the Communications Manager at Progress Texas. We're here on the campus at UT Austin for National Voter Registration Day, and we're here to talk to a few people who are making this happen at UT. To be quite frank, this is not the only day to register to vote, but we have a lot of chances to register to vote before our November 2019 election. The deadline is October 7th, so make sure that your friends, family, neighbors are all registered before that deadline. But we're going to talk to a few students here today. First I have Cameron, and he is the student body president at UT Austin. So Cameron, what are some of the things that you want people to know about voter registration?
Well, first, go out and vote. It's so important. Get registered to vote. It's so important. UT is making definitely big strides. We have student leaders here making big strides to make sure that as many students vote as possible. We have record-breaking numbers. Being done at UT, making sure that people are civically engaged.
Absolutely. What are some of the things that inspire you to vote?
Just making sure my voice is heard and that the things that I want seen in my communities and where I live be accomplished.
Absolutely. And what can students across the state, not just at UT, do today to make sure that they are ready to go when it comes to November?
Research, get all the information that you need to make sure that you are registered correctly. Go reach out to your community leaders, your student leaders at your campuses to make sure that you are registered to vote correctly so you can.
Thank you. Cameron Goodman, student body president at UT. Thanks, y'all. If you need any information about registering to vote, we do have a nonpartisan site up with a lot of our partners that we'll hear from today called govotexas.org, and there you can find everything you need to register. And to talk a little bit more about that, I'm going to bring in Charlie Bonner. He's the communications manager at Move Texas.
Hello.
And former Progress Texas staff.
Good to be back. Good to be back.
Yes, absolutely. Well, tell me a little bit about what group of voters that's coming in, and how do you inspire them to vote and to register to vote?
Yeah, what we saw in Texas between 2014 and the 2018 midterms was youth voter turnout tripled in Texas. So we're seeing this great progression of youth voters across the state who are showing up for the first time and getting involved. We're hoping to see that again as we move into these municipal elections in 2019, and then of course into that 2020 election, which is going to be so critical.
Absolutely. What are some of the things that we can see on the ballot in 2019 on November 5th?
Yeah. So we have constitutional amendments that are up across the state. So those are things that were voted on by the Texas legislature in this past legislative session, which we all worked on. And so those are 10 amendments that are up that people coming out soon that'll help young people understand all of those issues.
Absolutely.
And then there's some big elections in places like Houston where all the city council seats are up, and we have that big mayor's race coming up.
Absolutely, and Progress Texas will also be releasing a voter guide, and so you'll have to check out both, and I'm sure we'll agree on absolutely everything. But we are very excited about the youth vote here, and very excited to bring you on again. Thank you so much,
Tara.
Charlie.
Great to see you.
Great
Thank y'all.
to see you. All right, so again, here at UT, so many people are being registered to vote today, and across the state, we're seeing record numbers when it comes to registering young folks and people in general to vote. If you haven't had a chance yet, we just released our Flipping Texas in 2020 report that goes through why we believe Texas will turn blue in 2020. And it's really exciting. We're seeing so many folks, people that are moving to Texas are more likely to vote Democrat on a ratio of 5-1. And so there's a lot to be excited about here in Texas as a whole, and especially on National Registration Day, National Voter Registration Day. I want to bring in Maya Patel, who is also a student here at UT, and you are with the Campus Vote Project as well as Texas Votes, and you just won an award from MTV. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I'm the Texas State Coordinator for Campus Vote Project and the former president of Texas Votes. And because of all of my work here in Texas, getting polling locations and legislation, I won an award through the MTV Leaders for Change grant program. They gave me a grant to continue expanding my work across the state and working with more campuses to help institutionalize democratic engagement on these college campuses.
That's so exciting and so well deserved. What are some, in your work across the state, what are some of the trends that you're seeing when it comes to people registering to vote?
Yeah, so our NSOLVE report, which is the National Study of Learning, Voting, and Engagement, just came out from Tufts University, and we saw that from 2014 to 2018, our UT students voted and turned out. There was a 37.3% increase in voter turnout at UT, but our registration numbers weren't that much higher. So that means that we're doing great on the registration game. I mean, of course, we still need to register voters, but that means that we're really taking it home on getting students out to the polls, which is
Absolutely.
awesome.
And showing up on election day or for early voting as well.
Right.
Yeah. Here at UT, do you see more engagement on campus, more exciting around voting? And do you think that's true across the state as well?
Yeah, in the 2018 elections, students were definitely really excited about the elections and really engaged, and I think that engagement is only increasing as we move into 2020. Yeah, young people are really excited about elections. Young people age 18 to 29 are the largest block of voters, and so people are taking action and voting and showing our government that we have a voice and we are powerful and they need to listen to us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Maya.
you.
It was so good to talk to you.
Yeah, nice meeting you.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you can see, there's so much going on here for National Voter Registration Day. We have a lot going on. If you need any information at all, please visit govotetexas.org. We have all of the resources you need to make sure that you're not only registered, but that your friends and family are registered and that you're prepped for the 2019 election. I want to bring in another guest, Cassie, who has been instrumental here on the UT campus, getting out the vote and getting people registered. Tell me a little bit about your work here at UT.
Yeah, so I am the program coordinator for Texas Votes. It means I'm the graduate student who oversees what we're doing on campus in terms of voter engagement, all nonpartisan, of course. And so at this point, I have become the point person between Travis County and for voter registration and UT, and then I also am a volunteer trainer. So I do the volunteer deputy registrar trainings at UT for the county when they need my help.
Absolutely. And so not just here at UT, but across Travis County and even across the state, what are some of the trends that you're seeing when it comes to engaging more volunteer deputy registrars or even more voters in general?
I think that students are starting to learn more about the process. So everyone's young people are apathetic, which I don't buy. I think it's awful that people think that. I think they don't know what the process is like. And the process in Texas is many steps, right? And so more and more students across the county, and from what I can tell across the state, are learning about becoming volunteer deputy registrars and becoming them. And so in the last 2 weeks, I know that there have been trainings at least 4 universities in our county alone.
Amazing. And so that's ACC, Houston Tillotson, so many others.
Concordia University, Texas,
St.
and
Ed's.
here.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on here in Travis County.
Yes.
And so do you think that this excitement translates across the state as well?
I think so. So we also host something called the Texas Voting Summit. We did it in 2018. We're looking to do it again next year. And at that summit, there were a lot of schools who were learning for the first time about this process. I shouldn't have favorites, but I think my favorite one that I work with is Texas A&M International. And seeing them learn about the process means that they made a lot of changes in 2018, and they saw their turnout increase by 15% in 2018. So I would be shocked if that wasn't happening across the state.
Absolutely. And what do you want voters to know about this upcoming election in 2019?
I think it's important just to get into the habit of voting. So of course there are really important things on the ballot, but also just the action of going and voting is habitual. I'm a political comm PhD student, so I'm really into learning about those kinds of things. And so if you are already a habitual voter, but then you have friends who aren't, make it your responsibility to bring your friends with you to get them into the habit of voting too.
Absolutely. Thank you so much,
you.
Cassie. We really appreciate it.
nice
So
to
good
meet
to meet you. So as you can see, again, a lot going on here at UT today. And if you, again, need any information, Progress Texas has just released our Flipping Texas in 2020 report that has so much data and so much excitement when it comes to 2020. And we'll be releasing our 2019 voter guide very soon in the coming weeks so that you're prepped for that November 5th election. I want to bring in one more guest, and that's Jack. Hi, Jack.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Thank you
how
so
are you?
much.
Tell me a little bit about your work here at UT as well.
Well, I'm the co-director of Hook the Vote, which is one of 21 civic engagement agencies within student government. At our most basic level, we're getting people registered to vote, but we're also advocating for student voter interests at the university and beyond. So we're hoping to introduce legislation in the student government UT Assembly this week or next week regarding election day absences. So if you need to go vote and it's during a class, then that would be an excused absence from your class.
Absolutely. Do you know, have you seen other campuses across the state do similar things when it comes to student government?
Sure. Being in this role at UT, I feel so lucky because we're surrounded by such a strong network for civic engagement already. UT is the gold standard in Texas when it comes to voting and registration. And just like Cassie was talking about the Texas Voting Summit, there are other universities across Texas and beyond that are following our lead.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, what do you want UT students and students across the state and voters across the state to know about National Voter Registration Day?
National Voter Registration Day is not the only opportunity to register. You have plenty of time. One of the biggest misconceptions is that they are an out-of-state student or they are already registered in a different county. It doesn't matter where you were registered or registered before, or if you've never been registered before. If you're eligible to vote, then you can be registered in your county of residence. And so for students, if they attend school here but they live in Dallas, they can choose to be registered here or in Dallas.
Awesome. Very cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Jack.
much for having
Really
me.
Appreciate
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, again, happy National Voter Registration Day to everyone out here in Texas. We're so excited to celebrate with you. So excited to provide more information for you as we come up on these November 2019 elections on November 5th. Early voting starts in October, and so we'll be definitely sharing more and more with you as we get closer to that. But make sure before then, celebrate National Voter Registration Day by making sure that your friends, your family, your loved ones, your neighbors are all registered to vote. You can go to govotetexas.org with any questions that you have, or message us below. Please comment with any questions you may have. I'm Tara Polmeyer for Progress Texas again. Thanks, y'all.